Hey, Dylan.
Hey, Matt.
Oh, that's your Mr. Bean? That's perfect. Spot on.
Hello.
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 I grew up loving Mr. Bean.
I don't doubt it.
Like, this is probably between my family. There are a handful of specials that, like, me and my brother fucking love. We've talked about before.
Yeah.
Pee-wee's Playhouse Christmas special was a big
Yeah.
one. This is one that literally we will watch at least 2 segments of it when he's home for Christmas.
Okay.
We won't maybe sit down and watch the whole thing, but there are 2 segments that we're like, we have to watch these. We laugh so hard every single time that they happen.
I already know which 2 they are.
Probably.
But I have
Act 1, I think, is way better than Act 2. I like they
Agreed.
break this into 2 acts. Him doing like all the Christmas shopping and everything is just, I feel like every single gag works.
Yeah.
I don't think that Act 2 doesn't work. I think that the problem is that the biggest moment in Act 2 has been done to death now, not just by repeat it on Mr. Bean stuff, but repeat it in other shows. Like other shows have done the turkey stuck on someone's head gag at this point. Now, credit where credit's due. He was the first one. He was he was the first one to look at a turkey and say, I bet I could fit that on my head. But it's even right here in the Wikipedia page. It says, the turkey scene inspired a scene in an episode of Friends called The One with All the Thanksgivings, and later led to the adaptation of the film Bean. And then the turkey gag was used yet again in the Mr. Bean animated series in the episode A Dinner for Two.
Fucking turkey.
Like, they're like, fucking a turkey on someone's head. There is nothing funnier.
So I have 2 memories of Mr. Bean, and it is the turkey scene.
Yeah.
Obviously. I feel like we all saw that as a fucking kid.
I mean, I feel like if you watched PBS, it was in commercials for what PBS brings to television.
So I've seen that bit, which makes me think, hey, maybe I had seen this before.
Yeah.
Because I also remember the scene at the store.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
the
we'll get
scene
there.
at the store.
We'll get there.
There is a deleted scene that I don't know. How did you watch this?
I watched it on YouTube.
Okay, so you may have gotten
But it's
the one
from
deleted scene.
it's from the official Mr. Bean. I think he put all the episode. I think the company, as if Rowan Atkinson is sitting there like, I'm gonna be my Mr. Bean YouTube.
So did you? So in the version that you watched, did it show how he got the turkey?
No.
Okay. So I'll tell you about this deleted scene because it is available on YouTube. Someone has uploaded this one deleted scene. He won the turkey by it's like a guy has this giant ass turkey.
Yeah.
And it's
which looks like a person.
Yeah.
Like this turkey looks like a human being.
You hold the turkey and guess the turkey's weight.
Yeah.
And whoever got it closest got the turkey. Right?
Okay.
So Mr. Bean grabs a scale and weighs himself and then puts it in front of him where the guy can't see it and holds the turkey and looks at what his weight is now holding the turkey and pulls out a quick calculator and subtracts it and gets it to like the absolute decimal point of how much the turkey weighs. And then it just cuts to like that part's not funny to me. The part that's funny to me is that the guy is like amazed that he wins the turkey, and then it just cuts to Mr. Bean's trunk, and he just fucking throws this turkey into the back of it, like not wrapped or anything, just like fucking raw dogs it right into the back of the trunk.
God.
But yes,
he did far worse things with that turkey later into the night.
Oh, I'm sure.
So the other memory that I have of Mr. Bean is for some reason, I think like my parents were into it maybe. Because I remember distinctly seeing the movie in theaters.
Yeah.
Like I've seen the movie in theaters. But yeah, I liked this.
I like Mr. Bean because I like that he is genuinely a throwback to like the silent film era. And that's like what he said he wanted to do. Like he's like, I wanted to create like a modern day Charlie Chaplin or Buster Keaton type character. That like minimal dialogue, all visual gag, all like how can you tell a story with almost no dialogue? And I think he does succeed in that. Sure. And he succeeds, like we said. Let's just get there. So it starts off, he's Christmas shopping. Act 1 is all about Christmas shopping.
Yes.
So he shows up to buy some decorations. And while first of all, there's this gag where he's trying to decide which of the Christmas balls he wants to buy.
Oh, yeah.
And he bounces the plastic one and it goes back into his hand. And he throws the glass one and it shatters. And then he just walks over with the plastic. But like, he's such an asshole. Like the character is so...
Dude, he fucking sucks.
He's the worst. Like, he's not someone you would ever want to be friends with.
No. Mr. Bean's the worst.
So he buys this one ornament, and while the cashier is like taking care of it, he notices the nativity display and just like, I think every one of us has done this once in our lives where we're just playing with the nativity. We're bringing our toys into the nativity. We're like, oh, it's a dinosaur inside the nativity scene. It gets so ridiculous.
This is the scene that had me like cackling. Like, this is the one. This is what, and it's what's unfortunate about the rest of this special is it didn't hit that high again for me.
Oh no,
at all. Like, I think it peaks with his fucking noises.
That's what I was gonna say. The noises he makes
when
Mary looks at the dinosaur and just goes like the weird noises that he makes without forming any type of words.
Oh god,
him doing the exterminate,
the helicopter,
him bringing in the Dalek.
The helicopter that just picks up baby Jesus and takes it over to a dollhouse. It's so fucking funny. And honestly, the fact that the store owner got in on it with the police officer at the end, I think that was hilarious.
Yeah, it's so good.
But I will say most of this beginning did reveal to me that Mr. Bean would fall flat in 2023.
Oh, he would not work.
Because, like, you watch all those YouTube videos where they're like, we pulled the laugh track out of Big Bang Theory and nothing is funny anymore.
Yeah.
Like, that's all I could think of during most of this.
See, and I think that it is like, I think you're right, but I think it wouldn't work in a lot of ways as well just by, I don't think that people have, this is going to sound so pretentious and I am sorry. I don't think that a lot of people in 2023 really have the attention span to like sit and watch a mostly dialogue-less
I agree.
bit play out. You know what I mean? Like, they'd be like, I don't get why this is funny. Where's the funny quips?
I mean, look at No One Will Save You. Did you finally watch that?
I'm going to watch that today while I'm watching the dog.
But
so
you know that it's mostly
I know that it's mostly dialogue-free. Yeah.
Yeah. And I thought it was fucking brilliant. And Teddy and I both thought it was really good. But I'm seeing, like, it's getting a lot of praise, but I'm seeing there's, like, the opposite of just like people fucking hate it because they think it's stupid, and I'm like, I don't know, dude. Like, I don't know.
Well, it's the same thing. People hated the first Quiet Place for the exact same reason. They're like, there's not even any dialogue in it. It's like, it's fucking
You're telling me you guys
Quiet
didn't like
Place.
Wall-E? Wall-E didn't have dialogue for the first hour and a half.
Yeah,
it was fucking great.
But then, so the next thing, he goes to the market. He bumps into his girlfriend. She shows him very clearly that she wants him to propose. And so he goes in.
I feel so bad for this girl.
Oh, she's
so bad.
I don't know. If you're in love with Mr. Bean, that's a problem already. You could be doing better. But the other part that my brother and I love that makes us cackle uncontrollably is Mr. Bean conducting the Salvation Army band outside.
You like his facial expressions.
His facial expressions when he gets to like bop bop and like his nose like
mouthing it.
Oh my god, it is so. And then he's getting sad when it's the slow version. Like,
oh my god,
even
I like
just
when he turns it down. When he turns it down, and he starts conducting, and is like, "Why is nothing playing?" And he goes, "Oh," and turns it back up.
And the horns do like the like it's so. I mean, that's one of those things where I'm like, that I think is just funny forever to me. Like him just like doing his awkward dance while he's conducting, and it's the sound engineering. It's the engineering of like finding the exact right noises. Like, I know my brother always laughed at, there's the part where he like stops the song and then he just points to like the one guy and it's like a deep like tuba sound. It's just like burnt, and he like giggles to himself. like, cause again, we talked about Elf a couple weeks ago. Like, he's much more of an asshole, but he is also so childlike. He's just like, so he gets so giddy from those little things. Now it definitely loses steam in the second act. And in the second act, what's the very first thing we see Mr. Bean doing in his flat but unsuccessfully popping a Christmas cracker?
So I watch this like 3 to 4 minute bit of him fucking around with these Christmas crackers, and I'm still sitting there going, I still don't know what these things are.
Yeah. So I think, this episode comes out a couple weeks before the live stream. We're doing our big Geekscape live stream event.
Yep.
I think one of us, if you want to take the lead on this, fine. I'll take the lead. Otherwise, one of us needs to find a way to have Christmas crackers delivered to our houses.
I'm on it.
And we will pop them at the end of our live stream reading. We'll both
Hell yeah.
simultaneously pop the Christmas cracker.
Well, these don't look like.
But
They're
then
not snacks?
no, but then because he can't get this thing to pop properly, he then shoves all of the fuses into a mega Christmas cracker, which comes up later.
Right. That's right.
He hangs up his 3 Christmas stockings, one for his teddy bear, one for himself, and then he puts a very tiny one next to the mouse hole, and then sets up a giant fucking gnarly mouse trap. And like the way that he goes from like so sweet to then this sinister snarl as he sets up the mouse trap kills me. The other part that made me think of us, and it's my favorite element of Mr. Bean being a total asshole in this special, is when he can't find anything Christmassy on TV, and then he hears the carolers, and he's sitting there having this beautiful moment with the carolers until he just decides that he's done with it and just slams the door
on them. Guy's such a fucking dick.
And then another one, not like a laugh out loud thing, but the giddiness in which he wakes up for Christmas morning, and he's jumping on the bed, so excited, and then his sock is just another sock inside of it. Just so stupid, so silly. We get to the turkey scene.
The turkey, literally, like this thing is gigantic.
It is
like
massive.
So
like it is one of us.
Like it's straight out of like. So they're finally Eli Roth finally is getting to make Thanksgiving, and that's coming out this, or I guess it came.
It might actually be out by the time this comes out.
Yeah, it's out by the time this comes out for sure. But that's what it reminded me of. Like it reminded me of like a fucking giant body on the table.
It's
especially
insane.
when he just cuts the rope hanging its legs together.
And it flops open,
and it
like
just flops open. I'm
it
like,
literally, this is gonna sound awful, but it literally looks like the angle in which it's shot. It looks like if you were filming like a medical drama, and this was like the angle of the woman's view giving birth. Like all it needed was like a curtain over the legs, like because it just flops so wide open. But while he's stuffing the turkey, he loses his watch in there. So he sticks his head in to try to find it, and it gets stuck. And then he tries to cover it up by like wrapping it in a towel, like he's toweling off his head. It's ridiculous. They eventually have to just throw it out the window.
I do love when she shows up and they play it as a horror scene.
Yeah.
When he grabs the saw and the music's getting real intense.
They finally get it off of his head, but the turkey is worthless. That was too much turkey for 2 people to have anyway. Yeah. So wasteful.
So they have the 2 saddest peanut butter and jelly sandwiches I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. It's delightful.
We're making an ad.
Napping ad.
I hear that Gary Sinise is free.
Oh, okay, great.
He hasn't worked since 2020.
So, what would be the script that we would have Gary Sinise say for the Napping Through Happy Hour podcast?
Listen to this damn show. Damn it.
The Napping Through Happy Hour podcast, brought to you by Geekscape.
Real life, real drama, real time.
I'm Gary Sinise.
That's the ad. That's the ad. That's the ad.
Mr. Bean gets his gift from his girlfriend, which is a model ship kit that he immediately just jumps to making and then realizes, I forgot.
All the guns.
I forgot to give her gift. And then he hands her the picture of the person getting engaged. And as she cries, he's like, I forgot. He says, I forgot the main bit. And he pulls out a little ring box and he opens it.
And we're all like, oh my God, he redeemed himself.
And it's just the hook to hang the picture on the wall. And then when she leaves, he's so confused. He thinks he did everything correctly. And then he picks up his big cracker and he basically kills himself. As far as I understand.
This is the last episode of Mr.
Well, no, I was going to say I have no clue if this was the intention. I've Googled this and no one says one way or the other. But every episode of Mr. Bean, opens with a city street and a light opens from the heavens and he drops to the ground.
That I was so confused. I was like, is Mr. Bean an alien? Like,
so I think that that's what it was supposed to be for people to interpret, is like, this is not a human being. I've always interpreted, because he dies at the end of so many episodes, that it's almost like he's a Kenny McCormick that just keeps getting rejected out of heaven back to Earth to like die again and go up there.
Who is Mysterio?
Yeah, because like, because so many of the episodes end with like a giant explosion, the car going off the road, like it always feels like they're killing him at the end of every one of these episodes. But I think he never said one way or the other, because he wanted to leave it up for interpretation. Like, is he an angel? Is he an alien? Is he just a dead body that just keeps getting tossed out of heaven because he's too annoying? Like, and that's a very British. I feel like that's a very British sense of humor.
Dude, British people laugh at anything. This fucking car turned the corner and people were losing their minds.
Oh, they were cackling. Well, he did steal the Christmas tree. Well, I also think it's funny that his car is so tiny.
Yeah.
He's got a very, very small car.
Can I say that when you originally pitched this to me, I thought you meant Mr. Bean's Holiday, which is the 2007
no,
90-minute comedy, and I was really hating you. Like, I
don't even think that's Christmas. I think that's a summer vacation.
It's a summer vacation movie.
Yeah.
I looked it up because it was last night when I was sitting there like, I gotta watch Mr. Bean. Is it Mr. Bean's Holiday? And then I Googled that and that popped up. I was like, this doesn't sound right.
So, quick thing. The character of Mr. Bean, this is from the Mr. Bean Wikipedia page. The character of Mr. Bean was developed by Rowan Atkinson. Love Rowan Atkinson. We've talked about him in Love It, actually. When he was studying for his master's degree in electrical engineering at the Queen's College of Oxford. The first ever sketch featuring Mr. Bean was shown at the Edinburgh Fringe Festival in the early 80s.
That's cool.
His early appearances occurred on the Just for Laughs Comedy Festival in Quebec, Canada. And then program conductors started scheduling him into multiple festival programs. He insisted that he perform on a French-speaking bill rather than an English-speaking bill. Having no French dialogue in his act at all, the program coordinators didn't understand why Atkinson wanted to perform on the French bill instead. As it turns out, ACT's festival was to test the platform for his character and wanting to see if this character's physical comedy was strong enough to work on any non-English speaking audiences.
That's cool.
I was
really
like, that's
cool.
really cool.
Clever.
But yeah, he says a lot of his character is based on like Peter Sellers and various famous mimes and silent film era characters.
Yeah.
I do think that the character has like had a weirdly long career in pop culture. Like, remember he showed up in the 2012 Summer Olympics open ceremony when it was in London. So like, it is a very popular character. There is a great DVD that if you are a Mr. Bean fan, so this might not be for you, but if you are a Mr. Bean fan, there is a comedy special called like An Evening with Rowan Atkinson. I'm trying to find the official name of it, but he does a series of sketches, some with dialogue and some that, while not Mr. Bean, they are like Mr. Bean-esque in their nature. Like, it's still silent stuff where I remember one of them was like, he's just a guy sweeping the floor and he like hits drumsticks. But like, it's completely him on an empty stage. You're just hearing the sound effects of like drumsticks. And he's like moving the stick. And then it's basically him playing an invisible drum set that's invisible to him as well. Yeah. So like he'll be like just playing a steady beat and then he'll like go for a big crash cymbal and you hear like a cat scream and like run away and he like drops the sticks and then has to feel around to find them again. like stuff like that. Or there's like one where he's like listening to a boring sermon and like falling asleep and trying to like keep awake during a boring church. Like, they're very small, relatable bits, but it really shines. Like, Rowan Atkinson might be one of the best physical comedians we had in the 80s and 90s. Like, he could just
so weird. Like, I'm looking at filmography. Like, it's so strange to me that we got a Bean movie in 97, another Bean movie in 2007.
Yeah.
We've had 3 Johnny English movies.
Yeah, I did not know that.
Like, what the fuck?
He's in Wonka, apparently.
Yeah, I have no desire to see that.
Not even a
that
little bit.
looks awful.
Looks really bad.
It looks so
You know what?
bad.
Another quick Rowan Atkinson shout out though.
Rat Race.
Rat Race.
Fuck
He
yeah.
is
Rat
so
Race is
good
so
in
good.
Rat Race. And again, Rat Race, it's like just a couple steps away from Mr. Bean. Like,
Yep.
not a lot of dialogue, tons of physical action for him.
Yeah.
Like, so we're we might be split on our feelings on Mr. Bean, but we
Yeah.
are both very pro Rowan Atkinson, man.
Yes, I think that's what it is. Like I like the idea of Mr. Bean more than watching Mr. Bean. Like I appreciate it. I know what he's doing. I get the shtick. I think some of it works better for me than doesn't work for me. I don't like how much of a dick he kind of becomes. But yeah, I'm pro Rowan Atkinson. I'm iffy on Mr. Bean.
You're pro-in. You're
pro-in.
pro-in Atkinson.
Rowan Atkinson. There we go. We're back, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, well,
Listen, the last couple of months, we've been kind of slacking off, but guess what? Fucking Kings of Comedy,
It just
Kings
hit
of Christmas
home run
Comedy are fucking back. Call it a ho-ho home run, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh, goddamn. Dylan, Merry
Yeah,
Christmas, buddy.
Oh, Merry Christmas, dude.
Oh, whoa, oh, now we won't stop till the big ball drops on New Year's. Have a happy holiday, have a great, great, great holiday, have a merry, 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 happy holiday.
You're listening to the Geekscape Network.